ahead and work at Geopsy Research to design maps to come up with ideas for visualizing different things. I know we've done the introduction, but I'd also planned for it as part of the presentation that we had today. So we are not going to repeat it. Yeah, so this is the general outline of what we want to look at. The introductions which we've done, then we'll speak about the wiki, we'll speak about the components of the wiki, we'll speak about partner onboarding. How does a partner onboard to the wiki? How do you create content? How do you edit content? How do you share content? And then we'll also have a practical exercise. It will be good to know Geopsy. At Geopsy, Geo and PSI for geography and psychology. The whole idea is that we bring in knowledge from geoinformatics, from mapping, to design maps, to design communication material for the better mental well-being of society. And as the tagline goes there, mental health is an integral part of quality of life. When you're speaking about humanitarian issues, when you're speaking about children, it is all to ensure that there is better quality of life. What is a wiki? Yeah, I don't want this to be an academic exercise, so it's going to be interactive, right? Here, I just have a definition of what a wiki is. It is a website or a database that is that is developed collaboratively by a community of users, allowing any user to add and edit content. Okay. A typical wiki that we know is Wikipedia or Wikipedia. Okay. In Wikipedia, you want to describe something, you have the right to put your knowledge there. And somebody else may come and they have additional information, they can add it there. So that because of this community engagement, after a short duration of time, you have very quality content. Okay, that is an example of a wiki. In my line of work, the other wiki can be something like Google Maps or OpenStreetMaps. Okay, Google or OpenStreet do not employ people to create maps for them, but they use the community to be able to create maps, and these maps ultimately become very useful. The whole idea is that this community is a knowledge. If you're talking about CRHA, okay, the partners are the ones who are actually dealing with the people. The partners are the ones who are building the story about humanitarian work in the country, in the region, in the continent. Okay, so then a wiki is a platform that allows these partners who are very integral to the work of CRHA to be able to communicate. So partners can add, can edit content, can comment on other partners' content, can interact with the world. Is there any question pertaining to the definition of the wiki? Is there any question? Any comment?
No question.
Okay. In part of my life, I'm also a university lecturer. So normally when there's no question, the optimistic way is that you are very clear. The other way is that you are not clear at all. So people are just keeping quiet because they want you to finish. But I'm hoping it's clear up to that particular point. What are the components of the wiki? And this is important because one, you are sharing information. Okay, you are sharing your experiences. Okay, so how are you going to share your experiences. Number one, there has to be an administrator. There has to be an administrator's dashboard. Okay. So this is mainly on the background. You'll not see this as a user, but it's mainly on the background. The administrator, in this particular case, CRHA, knows potential partners. Okay. Knows, it has an idea of the potential partners. And so if someone wants to onboard, for example, they put their information, the administrator within CRHA will confirm that, hey, they've provided all the information that we need properly. And so we can allow them to be a partner and we can give them the right to post. Okay, that is important because it is collaboratively built and it will be on the web. You again don't want just foreigners to put things on your website that are not good for the proper functioning of CRHA. So the administrator has the overall overview of the system. They can see who is a user of this system, what kind of posts have been put in this system. If there are comments, what kind of comments have been put in this system. And they are allowed to also, maybe you posted something and there's a mistake and you want the administrator to be able to edit it before it goes online. The administrator also has that right. And this is important, especially when the wiki is out there. You posted something and it's out there and people are making comments. And normally people who are fishing for information also use these comments. So you find somebody puts a comment and say, yeah, I like the post, please also click on my website. And sometimes that website is not very proper. There's the role of the administrator to be aware so that they can be able to clean some of these potential junk that may come out of the wiki business. Okay. Then there is a user interface. The person that we are calling a user in this case is a partner. And the partner has some privileges. The partner can tell us who they are and where the location where they are and what they do. And this automatically goes to a dashboard with the location of the partner and the thematic area that they are focused on and the number of beneficiaries. So it's a way of also, the dashboard advertises at least what the partner does. Okay. The user also has the right and the privilege to be able to create a post, to create content. Okay. It can be that, for example, as a partner, you have had an activity. And in this activity, you've done something that is good for the community to know. Maybe you've had some intervention meeting with communities, with children, and you have some photos and you have some videos and you have a short story that you want to communicate. Okay. The wiki provides you with the basis of doing that. Maybe there's some update that you have on this story and you want to modify a bit, and you can also be able to publish it. Okay. The third component is the public view. This wiki is not just for the members of the consortium, but it is something that will be out there on the web, on the internet, and the public can be able to view. The public can be able to make comments. Okay. And then the fourth component is the dashboard. The dashboard is a map and statistics of the partner. A map showing the location of the partner. Somebody can click on the location and see which partner is here. And then the statistics just telling us how many kinds of partners do we have, and what kind of thematic areas are they discussed in, and how many beneficiaries do they have. Okay. So these are the four critical components. Okay. As a partner, you will have a right to 3 of these components. The user interface, which is basically your account with your details, with your password, with the right to be able to post, with the right to be able to modify, with the right to be able to publish content. Okay. As a partner, you can also have a public view of this wiki. A public view is that you can see information that is already published on the wiki. And then you also can access a dashboard. And this is the dashboard that is accessible to everyone. Now, the administrator, mainly the persons coordinating CRHA, have additional rights, because apart from seeing what the users and the public can see, they can see everything else, including comments, including the user profile. And this is important because, for example, in the process of putting your coordinates, you put them wrongly, right? And so the administrator can be able to adjust. Maybe you've lost your password. The administrator can help you to reset your password. Is it clear about the components? We're going to have a practical part as well. So this is, for example, a public view. Okay, and Stanley, you can tell me when I'm too fast or too slow, or if there's a break.
We are moving on well. I think silence means we are in agreement.
Okay. The other partners, any other question? Any comment? Am I clear?
Yeah, you are, Doc. I think silence will mean they are all in agreement. Let's proceed.
Yeah, so as a teacher, I'll just go back a bit. Can one of the participants tell me what is your understanding?
I will suggest when you have reactions, it's good you maybe raise your hands, or you can do it in the comment section. I'll be able to alert Daktari so that we don't leave anyone behind.
Okay.
Is that okay, Mumbe?
Yes, that's okay.
Thank you so much.
I can see people, a number are coming in, which is good. I just wanted to go back a bit from what we have discussed. Do you understand what a wiki is and what roles it has in the consortium? Is it now clear what a wiki is and the roles that it should have in this consortium? If somebody can tell me? No one yet. Okay, this is a public view. A public view is for the things that have been posted. What does the public actually see? Okay, and you can see if you check on the right, there are topics: health, education, child protection, advocacy, children's rights. Basically, these topics are the thematic areas that you as a partner are involved in. And these are important because by the time when you are onboarding, you also need to tell us your thematic areas. When you are putting up a post, you will also need to tell us what is the thematic area of this particular post. Okay. For example, you are a partner that is dealing with children's education. Okay? You are dealing with children's education, and there's also a component that is on HIV and AIDS. So when you are onboarding, you tell us that, hey, these are my thematic areas of focus. When you are putting up a post, you also tell us, for this post, I want it to be put within education, children protection, child rights, and stuff. And this is important because you are tagging your post so that anyone looking for post on education will be able to find you. Anyone looking for post on children rights will be able to find you. So this is what the public sees. Okay. Of course, the public can also access a dashboard. This is an example. This is an example of a dashboard. Okay. So that on the left, you have which are the partners, where are they? Okay. And somebody obviously can zoom in for a particular partner, particular location. We'll be able to see this practically. And on the right, then we have especially, this is good not just for the partners, but also for CRHA to know which partners do we have, what numbers do we have, what number of our partners have this number of beneficiaries. So if you see the chart at the bottom, there's a value between 1 and 1,000. So there's only one partner who is in that category. Some of them have more beneficiaries of their work. Okay, so that is the dashboard. Again, accessible to the users, accessible to the public. Now, this is now the most important, because we cannot have this information if a partner has not onboarded. Okay, onboarding a partner is bringing a partner onto this particular platform. And that is important, because it is that onboarding that gives a partner the right to now enjoy to enjoy services like creating posts, modifying posts, and stuff. Okay. Now, if we are going to onboard, we need this kind of information. And so what the wiki has done is to collect this information in a structured way. And you as the partner, the one who is going to bring in this information. Let me give an example. Africa Institute of Child Studies. Africa Institute of Child Studies is one of the partners. It has a name, Africa Institute of Child Studies. Okay. They have an they have initials AICS. Okay. AICS. It is operating in Kenya. They have a phone number. They have an email address. They have a logo. That logo is important. And I think we need to encourage all the partners to have some logo, because that is what people will remember. If you're in Kenya and you see an M-Pesa logo, then commonly what they have with the M-Pesa logo, sometimes there's light shining. So you know that there's M-Pesa here and it is operational because there's light shining on it. So you go to that shop, you don't care who owns it or whatever, but you just know this is an M-Pesa logo. So that logo is also important for our partners, because apart from, especially when we go to the dashboard, apart from seeing your location, when we click on your location, we'll be able to see your logo, your name. Okay. Then there's a username. A username now is the name that you will be using to log in. So it can be Ike's. Okay. So they can say Ike's underscore CRHA, for example, because they just want that account for CRHA, or it can just be Ike's. Okay. And it is case sensitive, and the password, just like in other places where you have a password, it has to be one. Okay. Then the thematic area. Okay. Thematic area can be education, child right, child protection. If you have a website, you will also put the website. And then the GPS coordinates. GPS coordinates, the wiki has enabled so that if you are in the office, okay, if you are in the office, you can enable location for your phone if you're using your phone for registration, or even for your laptop, and then be able to access those coordinates and use those coordinates. Use those coordinates as part of your registration. Should there be any challenges with your location and you want them to be changed, you can inform the admin to be able to adjust your location. Okay, because sometimes somebody tries to register, you have a partner, you are a partner and you're based in Nairobi, but at the point of registration you are in Kisumu, and so you don't know how to adjust. Okay, and you put your coordinates and it takes Kisumu instead of Nairobi. So there can be those changes that can be made. So this is what is initially needed, and this is important for people to know who you are, where you are, and your areas of operation, so that when we have a map like this, you appear on the map. Your organization appears on the map. Okay. Now, this one we will do practically, but this is what the table looks like. This is what the registration form looks like. Okay. This is what the registration form looks like. Okay. Can you still see my screen, really?
Yes, it's very visible. We are on it.
Okay. Yeah. So if you're on it, yeah. So this is what it looks like. You start with a username, a password, you confirm, then the organization's information. Okay. And the initials. Yeah. So the initials can just be that if I'm Ike's, I can take the first letters and put them there. The country, the phone number, the email address, a logo. Okay. Then thematic area of operation, the number of beneficiaries. This is an estimate. If you are handling between 0 and 1,000, you put it there. If you're handling more than 10,000 people, you put it there. Then the website and the location. When you can see on the location, there's a tab there called retrieve. So it means if I enable location on my phone or on my laptop, I can retrieve my location and be able to use it. Okay. And then obviously once you have started that process, the administrator now needs to approve. So the administrator will get an email that they can use to approve your registration, so that now you can, once it's been approved, you log in and are able to now use the wiki. Okay. Using the wiki is, the first use of the wiki is ideally to create content. And there are two types of content that can be included on the wiki. One that we are calling posts, and another one that we are calling publications. Okay, so those are two P's. Two P's for the wiki. P1, posts. P2, publications. The first content is, you have a short story, you have a short blog, you have a short communication that you think is relevant for the community. Okay, so obviously before you put the post there, you need to prepare. What is the title of this post? What is the content of this post? What is the thematic area of this post? Do I have some image? Images are normally good because a picture, like they say, a picture is worth more than 10,000 words. So when you have a picture of the things that you do, and then you describe it, that picture is going to attract people to that story. So a picture is important. And then the content. Okay, so like the example on the right is a typical post. You have a title, you have a picture, and then you have a story. This story should not be more than 300 words. Okay, it should not be more than 300 words because of the concentration span of your readers. Unfortunately, not many people can read so many words. Yeah, they lose track so far. So picture, a very short story that is impactful. Then there are publications. Sometimes you have done scientific research. Okay. And in that scientific research, there was a background, there was a method, there were results, and there's a conclusion. And so you want to structure it like that. So this also is a way of putting that kind of output. In the wiki, we call it emerging evidence. You've done some research, there's emerging evidence that you want to communicate. So you can be able to communicate it. This is maybe the second last slide that I'm going to talk about, and then now we go into the actual work. Okay. When you have a post, it needs a title. It needs an image. Okay. There are instances where you also have a video that you want to include. So it's possible to include a video. Tags are important so that your post is grouped in a particular thematic area. And this makes it easy for people to find it. It's like in a publication, you have keywords. In this particular case, we have already structured and specified the thematic areas so that people can be able to find your article easily, and then you publish. For especially once you have been approved your user, you are allowed to, once you press publish, it goes online. Okay. And this is important because by the time you are publishing something as a partner, you ought to be sure that what you want to publish is ideally a good representation of your organization. In this discussion, we can also discuss whether that format should change or otherwise, but that was the original design, that we are collaboratively creating content and we don't want to give the admin so much work. So wherever you are happy with the content that you have, you put it up there. Should there be any issues, the administrator can make some changes or can ask you like, hey, should we change this to this? But ideally, it is you as a partner who is communicating. This is an example. So you have a title, you can choose an image, you can enter some content. If you have a video, you can embed it. If you don't have a video, no need. And then you can select some tags and then you publish. Okay. Any question? Any question? Okay. So I'll stop sharing and share something else. Do you have any question up to that particular point?
Sure. I think I can get to pose some questions at this point. So I think okay, I have 5 questions, but they're pretty easy to answer because I feel like some of them you've been able to answer. So I'm curious to know, after a partner has been able to like write the title and the content of the text and have it, once everything is ready, is there like an admin process which the information which is planned to be shared has to go through to ensure that it fits the exact work which is intended? And then this also spins to my next question, is that what are the measures to prevent bugs on the site, in the sense that what if accidentally or intentionally somebody puts wrong information there? Maybe a common one is maybe about football or some movies. Like how can we be able to control that? And the last thing, maybe that one I can reach out to you later, is trying to also understand the cost implications. But the first 2 questions will be very great for me to get to know before we proceed. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So the first level of control is at the point of registration. Okay. At the point, so like I said, one of the components is the admin section, which is in the background. So the users will not be able to see it, but there's an admin section. And that admin, like I said, is an overseer of the entire system, right? So the first point of control is ensuring that by the time somebody is registering, you have an idea of who they are. Okay, because if this is a consortium, there can be a new member coming in, but ideally, initially, you have the core people that you have in that consortium. So that is the first level of control. In our definition of the wiki, it is users developing contents collaboratively. And so we didn't want to put a lot of, in the first instructions that we got when developing this wiki, was not have a lot of restrictions in terms of people posting. But we can review that, right? So that once a user has, it's a topic that falls within the thematic areas, they can be able to put it up there. Yeah. So at the moment, the admin can only intervene after the post has been put there. But you can advise us if you want another administrative effort before it is ultimately approved, we can speak about that. But that is the idea. In terms of the cost at the moment, we used the resources that CRHA had to implement this, so that it is running on CRHA website. It's just one of the pages there. We embedded it there already, so there's no additional cost that we will be charging, that we are charging, it has been using the resources that CRHA has.
Thank you. I think that clarifies most of the questions. That's all the questions from me at the moment. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question? Some of the questions will come as we go into the practical, and there are two aspects of the practical work. The first practical work is just that we see the website as it is, right? We see the website as it is, and I'll just go there. I'll just go there now. Okay. I'll just go there right now so that we are able to see it. I hope at least we know what the CRHA website address is. Okay, it's consortium-rha.net. I hope the partners are aware of that. Okay, so this is the main website of CRHA. Okay, so on the website, we added a page. If I go here, I have the wiki. I think you can see my screen. So I have the wiki. Okay. All the other content is the content that was available in the CRHA website. We added a page called wiki. Okay. So when I click on the wiki, it takes me directly to this homepage. Okay, it takes me directly to this homepage. Most of these contents were contents that was generated when we were developing this, but so we have most of this content. Okay, the first thing is maybe as a reader, and I've just reduced my page size because I needed to see something. So this is how the page looks as an example. Okay, so these are posts that have been made here, and if I click on one, it takes me to that story, and I can read that story to the end. And this one even had a video. And assuming I'm a reader and I have a story, I can say my name is Francis, and I can say I really like this kind of work. Okay, and I can submit. Okay, once I submitted it, I can see it there. Okay, and others can see it there. That is where now so what you're seeing is a public interface. Okay, if I go to home, I can see again all the stories. If I'm only interested in stories speaking about health, okay, if I'm only interested in stories speaking about health, obviously now there are not so many stories there, but if I'm interested in stories speaking about health, I can click on it and filter. If I filter, if there's any story on health, it will come there. You can see health still does not have so many stories. So you partners who are working in health need to be putting stories there. If I click on education, at least because there are stories, there are posts that are under that education, I'm able to see some of them. If I'm going to speak about child rights, as an example, I can filter and I'll see some stories speaking about child rights. Again, I'll just make it a bit bigger. Yeah, so I have those stories speaking about child rights. Okay, so that is the home. If I want to speak about, I want to see what about the dashboard? That is what we are calling maps and data. Maps and data. So this one, it tells us where are the partners. So if I zoom into Kenya, okay, I can zoom into Kenya, that is Nairobi, and I have two of them, and I can select that, okay. And when I select that, because African Institute for Child Studies is one of them in Nairobi. So the logo is important there. The logo that I was speaking about is important there. What is the name of the organization? What is it? What is the thematic? You see, there was an error here. There was an error here when it was put there, right? So as an admin, I have another computer here where I have access to that. I have access to their in dashboard, and I can, so that instantaneously we can be able to see that thing. So if I go there, yeah.
Hello, Doc. It seems we are losing you. We are losing you, or is only me losing Doc?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, not only you. Yeah, you're also losing him.
Now?
It's okay now. It's okay. Proceed.
Okay. I would just say that if you check it, you can see that it was put as to be in Sudan, right?
Mm.
So I can change that. I'm just changing it on another computer, and I can save. It's saved. I'll just rerun it again. If I go to the dashboard and rerun, see, yeah. So let me zoom into it. Yeah. So if I come to it now, you see now it's Kenya, because as an admin, I've noticed an error, and in near real time, I've been able to handle it. So that is really the role of the admin. Ensure that when people people are onboarding, the information is correct. Okay. Yeah. So those are the two things that are available to anyone. You remember now we've not logged in yet. Okay. I'm saying we've not. Let me just log out because I was logged in. Yeah. So even without, I've logged out I've logged out, and I still can see. Right. I still can see what we were seeing initially. Yeah, I can still see. If I go to home, I see everything that has been put there. I don't know whether we had any. Yeah, so there was some emerging evidence also that we tried to put. We tried to put here. Emerging evidence, as you remember, are what we were saying, a scientific kind of publication where you have the different sections. Okay. Now, let me first of all, I'm now going to the practical aspects of it. I have an account here, and I want to log in. Okay, so you have an account and you want to log in, so I can log in as an example. Okay, I know. Then I can just put, and I can log in. Okay. When I log in, I come to this page, and this page allows me to do different things. You can now see I have something here called create. Okay. And there's a post and there's a publication that I can be able to create. If I had published any other story, I can choose this, and it will help me to filter out my previous stories. So again, I'll just reduce the size of this so that I can see the filter. If I reduce the size of that, if I click on that, and as an admin, if I'd put any of, if I'd published anything in those directions, then I can be able to see it. Okay. Now, I'll just log out, and the next level now, we want to move with it progressively. Okay. And my company is called CRHA Research. Of course, yesterday, so I can't delete it. And again, I can delete as an admin.
Doc, we are sorry, we are losing you again. We are losing you again, kindly.
Yeah, just remind me when. Now, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You are back.
I think it's because I have the other computer on my side. So when I'm going to speak on it, then maybe that is when you lose me, right? Yeah. So I've deleted one of the users, which was CRHA Research, and now I want to start the process of joining as a partner. You can see my screen. You can see my screen. This is what we are calling partner onboarding, bringing in a new partner who has not been a member of CRHA. And this only happens once. As a partner, this only happens once. There's a tab here called Partner with Us. By the way, I'll give the slides that I've used today. There is also a guide that you will also get that is written that will take you through this. Okay. So partner with us. So if I click on that partner with us, I get this form. Okay. I'll just increase the size so that you can see it clearly. I'll just increase the size. So I get this form. Okay. And maybe as I want to be CRHA Research. Okay. CRHA Research. And let me create some password. Okay. And I can confirm that password. Okay. What is my organization name? It's called CRHA Research. Okay. What are my initials? I can call GR as an example. Just GR, right? Which country are you from? And I'm from Kenya. Okay. And what is the phone number? I can put. Okay. And what is the email address? And I can put hello@CRHA-research.org. Do you have a logo? Yes, I have a logo. I'll browse to where my logo is. And CRHA resources, CRHA learn. And I can put one of the logos that we have there. I can put the logo. And what is your thematic area? So you have different thematic area. I can go to education, research, and capacity building. Okay, that is our main thematic area. How many beneficiaries do you have? Let's say we have 100 beneficiaries. What is your website? I have my website here. And then when I go to location, I want to use my computer's location. Okay. Or I can use my computer's location, but now I'm not in the office. So it would that I also show you how you can get a nearby location to your office. So I've gone to. I think the first thing that I should do potentially, so that I don't confuse you, is let me just retrieve. I can edit it later on, but let me just retrieve. So I retrieve it, and when I retrieve it, it successfully retrieves using my computer's location, the coordinates where I am. Okay, I can change those later on, but it retrieves them like that. Okay, I can recheck again. It's normally good to recheck. CRHA Research, I've put the password, the organization's names, my thematic area of work, and my coordinates, and I can register. Okay. When I register the first time, it tells me, thank you for registering. your partnership request has been received. While you await approval from our administrator, you can explore the following. So it means there's a level where now, as the administrator, I can now accept that request. As an administrator, I can accept that request. And indeed, when I come, I don't know whether you want me to show you what is on the administrator side. Stanley, do I show what is on the administrator side, or I can just approve it from my end?
You can approve it, eh?
Yeah. So I can approve, and I'll just approve it in a minute, and then you will notice that yeah, so I can approve and also make it active. There are two levels: active so that they are able to do the things that they've said they want to do. I can approve. It's now approved. Now, let me go back now and log in. If I go back to home, see, they still partner with us. Now I can log in. So we were partnering, onboarding, partner onboarding, which we have done. I've been able to approve it. Now I can log in. Okay. To log in, I can use the name that I put initially, and also the password that I had selected, and I can log in. Okay. So it's nearly real time. And you can see now, my name is there, Jobsy Research. Okay. Is there any question there? Partner onboarding and logging. Okay. Now I have more privilege. Apart from just seeing different things, I can create. Okay. I'll get something from our blog and then be able to post it here. Obviously, at the end of this, I can be able to delete it. Oopsie. So I'm just using this as an example. I'm just using this as an example. I want to get something that we've already published before, and then be able to post it. Okay. Now, if I come back here, I can create. So now we are at the third level, creating content. I want to create a post, and we said this can be a small story, and I get this. Okay. And maybe I want to speak about excellent internship at Jobsy. Okay. That is what I have there. I don't know whether I have any other, I don't know whether I have any image to put. Let's get an image. I'll get an image and put it there. So save image. Okay, so I have an image there that I can use. Okay, so obviously you need to be prepared better than me. You need to have these images before. So I can go to the image. There's an image on the desktop, and I have this image. Okay, and then I can go to the content. Okay, and I'll just write a brief story. My name is Anthony. I study geoinformatics at the University of Nairobi. Okay. Between May 2024 and August 2024, I have been an intern at CRHA Research. Okay. I want a paragraph during this time. I learned to build research concepts, collect data, design maps, and write scientific reports. Okay. What I liked most during the internship was the teamwork. Okay. And participatory nature of doing things. I would recommend the internship opportunity for any other student. Okay, so we are just creating content. We have an image, and you see here, if I want to have a tag, it comes from some of those that had already been structured. So it's a tag on education. I can add another one because the more the better. Education, justice, climate, livelihood, capacity building. Okay, so I've put my content there. I can even edit my content. Okay, I can edit my content. I can do different things. So you are putting a blog there, and once I've done doing that, I can publish. Okay, and when I publish it, I can see it in real time. So one of the things that you learn here, have a nice photo so that when it's taken up there, it's going to come out nicely. But my story is already there and it's already published, right? It's already published. So even if I was to log out, I've logged out, my story is up there among the stories. In the definition of the wiki, we were saying that this is a collaborative platform where users can participate in creating stories. Okay, that is an example. So if somebody clicks on these, they can see the story and they can read the story. And if I want to make a comment, I can make a comment. Somebody else can make a comment on that particular story. Is there any question? So we've done partner onboarding, partner login, and creating content. Stanley? Now, this is the question that Mumbe was asking about. This is the point that, because in the initial instructions that we had was to take the post in real time. Okay, and you can see as a partner, people will know that this story has been this story is from CRHA Research. People will also know the category of the work, the topic. Okay, so as a partner, the benefits that you have is the story is attributed to you. The story is also properly tagged to your thematic areas. You also have the other benefit that people can now begin making comments. Okay, so Francis can say, okay, this is an excellent report. How can I get in touch with CRHA Research? Okay, and I can submit. Okay, And yeah, so we've posted it. When you come to the dashboard again, the jobs research that we added should also be one of the partners that we have here. Should also be one of the partners that we have here. It's going to show you where I am a bit. Yeah. So you see, I'm slightly outside Nairobi at this particular time, and it is because of the location that I put there. Let me just reduce it. Yeah. So that is a jobs research with the logo that we had, with the logo that we had, and with the logo that we had, and the location that I put. Yeah. So those are some of the benefits. Number one, onboarding here, it's structured. So we'll get all the information that we need, at least to know who is partnering with us. Okay. We'll be able to know the information. That information in near real time, we have it. I think one of the challenges that we had in one of the projects that we are working on with ICE is with AICS, was that we wanted at some point to map different partners, and we had Excel files for partners to be able to be onboarded. And in many instances, there was always an additional effort of trying to again correct that information before it goes online. In this case, we have the wiki has implemented a structured form so that as you onboard, you are providing the correct information, and the administrator can correct it, but in near real time, your information is up there. The wiki also provides a basis for sharing, creating content. If, for instance, I want to share this story, when I click on it, I get a link there. Okay. And if I want to post it on Twitter or on Facebook, I can be able to put it there. But then there's also just on the same page, I can click on Twitter, I can click on LinkedIn, I can click on Facebook. Then it takes me to Facebook, and I can be able to post that particular story. Okay. I want us to kind of summarize now. What was the learning objective of today? The learning objective of today was, number one, we understand what is this CRHA Wiki, what is it? And then number two, we at least begin interacting with it by creating our accounts, by onboarding, and also being able to create content. I know as we were preparing to attend these, potentially you did not have any content, you did not have what is required for you to onboard. So I want to then encourage you that it will be good that each of the partners now is onboarded. And once they're onboarded, they can create stories. The target here is at least per week, if there can be a story. Then we have a rich content that is by the partners and that communicates about the work that we are doing. Stanley, I want to bring it back to you to drive the question and answer session.
Okay, thank you, Doc, for that insightful presentation. I think most of us who are represented here today were able to see a touch of the wiki and how it operates. I think one of the conversations we've been having is how to increase our visibility on our consortium to run this localization agenda. And even by these frequent updates, telling the world what we do at our organizational levels will help us improve on our visibility. So a very big thank you for your wonderful presentation. I just want to welcome in a few questions as we move forward with the next steps. So if anyone has any question, kindly feel free to ask while Dr. is still here, so that moving forward, we will be able to update our content and any other resources we have in the wiki, so that it could be a learning tool. Thank you. Anyone? I see. Hassan Haji, you want to contribute on something? Kindly feel free to unmute.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we loud and clear. Please proceed.
Thank you, and thanks for Francis. This was a clear presentation and beneficial. I've got all points. I've also made a registration for Gradle. Maybe if you log into the admin panel, you can see a request for asking. Yeah, then you can approve it. That's all okay. I can say thank you for all, and we will be improving both our localization agenda and feasibility as well. I have no certain question, but all I would like to say is thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hassan. That was very meaningful. Yeah, it was more of a comment than a question. We appreciate it. Someone wanted to ask something or contribute to something. Mumbe?
Yes, I can go ahead and get to pose some questions to Doc. So, Doc, thank you so much for the amazing presentation. At least it's enabled us to like really get to think about how, especially me, to get to think about how best to be able to present the wiki in the next coming weeks. But I'm also thinking in terms of the future of how exactly we want to approach it, especially paying attention to the trends which are existing at the moment. So I have two questions for you, Doc. So my first question is, are there opportunities of integrating artificial intelligence in supporting this? And this stems to my second question, which is centered around, is there a way in which some of the partners can be able to update the information, maybe using WhatsApp or text? How will this look like in that kind of scenario? Because I'm imagining in field situations, it might be rather difficult for them maybe to have a laptop to get to do this. So I'll be interested to see your opinions around this. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you. I think on the first question, Gredo was there already, right? And it is from what I've checked now on the admin, it was already approved. Just in case there are any other questions, we can address those questions in terms of the content that is there. So, and I think I was showing it up there already. The other, on the question on artificial intelligence, whether, yeah, obviously there's a lot of information that is coming up. There's a lot of information that we are putting up here, and it will depend on what we want to achieve by artificial intelligence. Do you want to achieve, do you want some summaries, or you will notice that even in this meeting, there was an AI that is taking the notes, will give us the notes at the end of it. It depends on the question that we have for artificial intelligence, but as long as we have rich enough information that we want the AI program to be able to condense in a particular way, that should be possible, right? So we can't be able to speak about that. In terms of partners using text and using WhatsApp, the first instruction that we had is for it to be managed on the web. So that is what has been implemented. But should there be additional questions, additional requests? So, for example, someone who is not for someone who is not on the internet and still wants to update some story, then I think we can speak about that and see a potential way of mitigating that. We can create forms or applications that are accessible on the phone so that someone can easily be able to update on the phone, and when they click push, it comes up and it can be updated. Yeah. Yeah, I've got the question from Hassan, so that will be able to sort at the end of this, just so that they can get their credentials again and can be able to post information. Any other question?
I think it's not a question, it's just a comment. Looking forward to being able to get to see, like explore how best we can be able to, based on the needs, to be able to play around with the structure and get to see how we can make it as easy as possible for our members to get to use it and also get to post the data. So thank you for the clarifications.
Yeah, so thank you. As you'll notice, we nearly developed this thing more than a year ago. In a year with the technology, there's a lot that has changed, and there's a lot that as a consortium you may also have seen that you want to included there. We are open. It's nearly 5 years since we started working with at least AIX and the other partners. So we have a good working relationship, so that anything that any work that you want us to be able to perform on this and to make it more efficient, more effective, more innovative, we are available to do that. There's a question: is there a way we can link the platform with our social media? Okay. Yeah, so there should be possibilities. What I don't understand, do you mean so that if a post is made on the wiki, it automatically goes to your social media? Was that the question? Okay. Yeah, there are possibilities. There are possibilities of doing that. And I also want to thank Stanley for at least organizing this kind of meeting, because initially it was the CRHA team and ourselves working, but now you see when we expose it to the partners, then we also get additional insights that are useful. I think that is also a very good comment if we can integrate it. And in particular, in this case, it's not just integrating it for CRHA, but for the different partners, so that they can be able to ingest the information that is here on their social media platforms and use it to be able to communicate. So that is one avenue that we can explore to ensure that there are these benefits that partners are getting from this.
Yeah, thanks, Doc. That's well illustrated. We are still picking on some more questions. Yes, Mustafa, thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Stanley, as well as Mr. Francis, for your insightful presentation. The Wiki platform is important and a very essential platform for our daily program activities. So my question is this platform is limited to CRHA members only, or any non-members or any other non-CRHA members can also access and use it? Also, I want you to remind you whether you have, I don't know whether you have read what my colleague Hassan has indicated in the chat box for the credential of the website. I don't know whether you have seen it or.
Yeah, I've seen that comment. Because I have access to the admin page, it's possible for us to retrieve. So in this, by the other security measure is, as an admin, I cannot see your password. But so if you lose your password, I can only help you to recreate a password, but I cannot see it. Yeah, so that's a security measure, so that even an admin cannot be creating posts under your name. So the admin can only help you to retrieve that, to create a new password. So I can create a new password and then give it to you. And if you want to change it, you can change it. But I've seen that information will be in touch. On the question that has been asked on whether it can be used by other partners, I think, Stanley, you are the better one to advise in this particular case. What kind of partnerships are you looking for?
Okay, based on our TOR, we had agreed that we'll only maintain the 11 organizations that are member organizations of the CRHA. But moving forward, it's something we are still discussing in the steering committee, if we are to welcome in some other partners. So I think I'll be able to give some genuine feedback on that. So for the meantime, Mustafa, it's only restricted to the 11 partners. Huh? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Stanley. Otherwise, thank you for your invitation. We are very interested in such occasions, and we are really appreciated to be part of this wonderful consortium CRHA. Otherwise, we also are interested if you can share the recording videos for us to be very in terms of when we want to create and log in so that we can it can make it very easy for the instructions. So otherwise, thank you.
Yeah, sure, Mustafa. We are probably going to share everything, including the slides. I'll work this with Doc and be able to share with you comprehensive presentations. Huh? And Daktari, I'm having a feeling most of these consortium members that were actually in the first phase of this development had transitioned to other organizations. So if we could work on, developing some new passwords and give them for the updates, it will be better. What's your thought on that?
No, we are open to that. You will just advise us. You will just advise us on
Okay.
who is still there. Yeah, and even for new people who want to join, if they want us to be available as they join, because sometimes you want to ensure that, hey, I'm joining and I want it to be approved now, and if there are any changes, I want them to be addressed now. We are still open to that.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that. Any other questions, if they are there, so that we don't leave anyone behind? Does silence mean we are all good? Okay, so I think it has been a very interesting session, and I really want to thank Daktari for making his time to prepare for this learning session. And I believe as member organizations, we'll be able to do now the necessary, because our target was we improve on our visibility. It seems we are doing very great work within our organizations, but we don't present them. So it comes a challenging even when we want to seek for funding. So with this kind of training, I think we are able to move forward and, tell the world that we are really fighting this localization agenda. So without so much, I want to officially welcome my incoming Chief Executive Director. She has been all along with us. Maybe this will be a better platform to introduce her officially to you guys. I know most of you have been working closely with me, but it's also good to know your boss. Huh? Thank you, and karibu Munge.
Thank you so much, Stanley, for the warm introduction. Mustafa, Lynn, Hassan, and also our trainer today, Dr. Francis. I'm super excited to get to continue working with you and also getting to meet you soon. Thank you. That's all from me today. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a nice voice. I'm quite optimistic that the rest of the team would have loved it. So I know most of these conversations will be holding on our WhatsApp groups. And for now, in the interest of time, I know most of us are also busy doing some other things. I would love to officially close this. As promised, we'll be sharing the presentation materials with you, and I'll also follow up with you to see your updates. I think having this training, I would see Gredo, Wakike, Ix updating their status, and other consortium members will be able to follow the shared documents. Thank you and have a good day. Unless someone has something to say.
If I could just make a comment.
Okay, Doc.
Yeah, so yeah, I appreciate also that we were able to have this training and that we are able to see some of the tools that can help in networking, in communicating, in ensuring that the work that you're doing is known out there and is appreciated. Yeah, we look forward to continuous interaction, continuous working together, continuous support. And thank you very much again. Even when you are a teacher, sometimes the motivation that you get, there's instant payment that you get by the kind of interactions that you have. So I'm also very grateful to the team that they've been good interactions, they've been good interest, and I even myself I'm enriched in terms of how I think about these things and in terms of how I should deliver on these kinds of work. Thank you.